The 3 or 4 big takeaways on this morning of December. The one big takeaway, the BJP is set to form the government in Jharkhand. So clearly big advantage to the BJP in Jharkhand, but not doing as well as they might have hoped for. They were hoping for 50 plus seats. They're ending up around 40, but they will form the next government in Jharkhand. The other big takeaway, the BJP clearly emerging as the dominant party of Jammu, but not making that breakthrough in Kashmir. So Mission 44 will not happen for the BJP. What is also clear is that Mufti Mohammad Saeed is now in pole position to perhaps form the next government in the state. But every political party in Kashmir has been sent out some kind of a warning that they need to perform or perish. Clearly, Omar Abdullah is the one who suffered the most as a result. The Congress, strangely enough, has done reasonably well. And Ghulam Nabi Azad might take some credit of that. He campaigned aggressively in the state. But overall, it's been a 50-50 day for the BJP. For the Congress also, interestingly, 50-50, because while they've lost Jharkhand, they may well see a window of opportunity this time in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And of course, for the regional parties, the JMM has held its own this time in Jharkhand, and the PDP has held its primary position now in the Kashmir Valley. So a more complicated verdict than one can easily predict, as we did in Maharashtra, Haryana, where it was game, set and match to the BJP. Today, it is not game, set and match to the Bharatiya Janata Party. They too will have to reflect in some way, particularly why they couldn't achieve the kind of spectacular success they were hoping for in Jharkhand, and why they couldn't really cross the Jawahar Tunnel and reach into the Dal Lake and beyond. So plenty to ponder over. Would that be a right way of looking at this verdict, Manini Chatterjee, that, you know, the BJP has reason to believe it's the #1 national party at the end of 2014. If you look at state after state, the Congress is now really only in Himachal and Uttarakhand on its own, in North India. But do you see the BJP also having to reflect on the need to maybe take promise into performance? Modi's promised a lot in 2014. 2015 will be the year of performance.
No, absolutely. That's one aspect. But I think that the Jammu and Kashmir verdict for the BJP is a very significant one, because the BJP from, you know, right from the time it was formed in 1980 and especially after 1986, has always had this, do you cater to your core constituency or do you try and expand? In Kashmir, if they had won a few seats in the valley, then the sort of the Vajpayee line, which even Advani professes to, might have had more takers. Now I think that they'll say that we've done phenomenally well in Jammu by actually becoming more Hindutva. So that debate within the BJP can exacerbate rather than become more expansive.
Do you think that Manini Chatterjee is sort of creating ghosts where none exist, that the debate within the BJP of the direction which the party should take? Do we go down the Vajpayee line?
Debate within them.
Do we go with the Vajpayee line or the Modi-Shah line? There's been some talk that yesterday Narendra Modi has met senior RSS leaders and said, you have to rein in the VHP. We cannot have these public comments being made on issues like Ghar Wapsi, on issues like Hindu Rashtra. Do you believe at one level that this debate will be accentuated by these kind of verdict, or the BJP believes that Suraj, good governance, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is here to stay?
See, Vajpayee had his own method of working.
And let me be fair, sorry to intervene, with Vajpayee you never won 25 seats in Jammu. So, I mean, give credit to Mr. Modi and Amit Shah also.
So, he had his own methodologies.
Yes.
And Narendra Modi has his own.
Yes.
But basically, Vajpayee line and Narendra Modi line is the BJP line. Vajpayee doesn't form an independent line. And Vajpayee...
You think this is a media creation? This is, you know, we constantly tend to create this sort of, there is a Vajpayee Insaniyat line and a Narendra Modi Hindutva line.
To a very large extent, yes.
Yes. Okay.
But that will need a very long time to explain. So I'm not going into those details.
Yes.
Rajdeep, I have worked very closely with Atal Bihari Vajpayee also.
Yes.
And I have been a pracharak for 22 years. So I know the line that the BJP takes, I know the line that the RSS takes, I know the points of convergence, and it goes into a lot of discussion, and then Vajpayee emerges with a particular line. That does not mean it is his line which is different from that of the party or the RSS.
Okay. You know, but there is now an Amit Shah, there is an Amit Shah, Narendra Modi way of fighting elections, right?
It's very that's why I told in the morning session also,
yes,
that every election has a strategy also.
Okay.
So this strategy has to be worked out.
Okay, but this time it's not worked out as successfully.
We cannot be only good people in politics minus strategy.
Okay.
And end up like a very good person, Mr. Babular Marandi, on whom we are going to depend for.
Jyoti, do you believe that the BJP at the end of the day, by putting Mission 44 out there, the audaciousness of their ambition, put out the fact that, look, the Prime Minister will come to Kashmir, Amit Shah will go to Sopore, we will have 11 Muslim candidates, we'll put up some high-profile names. Do you believe that has worked, or has that had a backlash with, or some kind of a reverse polarization taking place?
I think it was extremely audacious. And it really stirred up the Kashmir Valley. You saw very interesting campaigns taking place across the state. But I also think that Modi, finally, he had to rely on the Vajpayee line. And I believe that the two lines are different. That there is a Vajpayee Insaniyat ke daire mein, where he did not talk about the constitution, actually, and speaking to all the people of Jammu and Kashmir. But here is what I'd like to say. I think Prime Minister Narendra Modi is pragmatic enough to reach out to Mufti Muhammad Saeed. He knows that if you look at the figures right now, there isn't that much difference between the BJP and the PDP. There's 5 or 6 seats.
Yes.
The PDP will not ally with the BJP, but that will not prevent Modi from reaching out to Mufti and saying that
Center will be there to support
you run the state, because Modi knows. Modi is a realist.
So isn't it then better for Mufti Muhammad Saeed not to take the Congress support in an alliance and form a minority government?
No. I think he will take the Congress support. He will take the Congress support, because at the end of the day, they are like-minded, ideologically like-minded parties. I think, in my view, Mufti is the original congressman. I think
he was a congressman.
He was a congressman, and I think he's one of the few good old Congress people. And I think that Ghar Vapsi is actually much more interesting than any other combination.
Hold on. Having said that, and Mufti Muhammad Saeed, I think, served, if I'm not mistaken, even in Indira's cabinet, as he once reminded me a few weeks ago.
And only when Rajiv went with Farooq Abdullah that he broke.
Okay. So my point is that you reminded me, and I didn't allow you to pursue it at the time, but you should.
The 87.
87 as well as 89. Many have blamed Mufti Muhammad Saeed and the Rubaiya Saeed episode for the rise of militancy in the valley. That's often been one narrative that has played out. So Mufti Muhammad Saeed has had to live with that. 87, Mufti Muhammad Saeed then goes along with the Janta Dal, goes along with VP Singh. Do you believe Mufti Muhammad Saeed is pragmatic enough today to do what Jyoti is suggesting, that is, have an equation with the centre and Narendra Modi at one level, and yet tie up with the Congress in the state because it is the safer option today?
I have a different take on this.
Yes.
One, militancy started before Rubaiya Saeed was kidnapped. 87, I think you're getting it wrong. Mufti pulled out of Congress when the Rajiv Farooq alliance was made, which is commonly called as the Rajiv Farooq Accord. And that, apart from the 87 rigging, has had a role to play in the rise of the militancy. So is Mufti trying to replicate the Rajiv Farooq Accord that he broke off? I mean, he was disappointed about, and remake a sequel, Mufti Modi Accord, and what would the repercussions be? Number 2, as far as the working relationship between Mufti and Modi is concerned, it depends on both sides. New Delhi as well as Mufti. I think Mufti has shown that he has the ability to work with any group.
So Mufti,
but I'm not sure about. I'm not sure.
He's an old fox. I tried to interview him the other day. I had Mehbooba on one side and Mufti Saeed on the other. Mehbooba kept talking. Mufti Muhammad kept silent. Mufti Muhammad said, "I don't give TV interviews. My daughter gives." And many believe, of course, that Mehbooba Mufti runs the show in many ways. But let's listen to Sajjad Lone. Let's listen to Sajjad Lone for a moment.
चैलेंज था कि बार-बार जब भी कोई आता है, जनाब इसने आपके बाप को हराया, जनाब इसने आपके बाप को हराया, आज इनको जवाब मिला।
अच्छा है अपने इलाके के लिए, खुसूसन जिला कुपवाड़ा और अपनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी के लिए आगे के लिए आपके पास क्या मंसूबे हैं?
देखिए, मैं आपको एक यकीन दिलाता हूँ कि हम जो होंगे इंशाल्लाह, हमारी जो टेन्योर होगी, हमारी पार्टी का जो भी एमएलए आएगा और जो हमारे वर्करान होंगे बाकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में, एक मिसाली अपोजिशन या एक मिसाली जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी बनने की कोशिश करेंगे, जो डेवलपमेंट पिछले 60 साल में नहीं हुआ, ये मेरा वादा है, उसको हम चुनौती देंगे, उसके टक्कर की डेवलपमेंट करेंगे और जो यहाँ खौफ है एमएलए का वो खत्म हो जाए।
सजाद साहब,
यहाँ कोई एमएलए से नहीं डरेगा।
सजाद साहब, आप किसके साथ अपनी पार्टी को जोड़ेंगे?
हुकूमत साजी में आपका क्या, आपकी क्या राय होगी?
अभी हमें, मुझे ये भी नहीं पता किसको कितनी सीटें आई हैं, तो
फिर भी सर
तबीयतन मैं एक इनकलाबी हूँ, तो तबीयतन मेरा जो
Okay, so Sajjad Lone, reason to celebrate. What does that mean? Sajjad Lone winning. Is it important to have alternative voices in a youth discussion at Cafe Coffee Day a few weeks ago in Srinagar? I heard young people saying, why not even Sajjad Lone have a say in Kashmir politics? Are people looking for alternative voices to the usual Mehbooba Mufti, Mufti Mohammad Saeed, Omar Abdullah, Farooq Abdullah? Are the young of Kashmir looking for alternative voices?
As far as mainstream politics is concerned, yes, definitely. If you look at these elections, I mean, PDP itself emerged as an alternative voice to the National Conference in the election of 2002, pretty much out of nowhere, and is now the leading party in the state 12 years on. Sajjad has spent a considerable amount of time on the sidelines.
Yes.
He contested 2 elections, both parliamentary, didn't win them, but he's had a very strong support in his father's home base, and that's finally now reflecting in these assembly elections.
Yeah, it's taken a long time for Sajjad Lone to make that breakthrough. Manishankar Iyer, you've been our marathon man this morning. We've kept you with tea and water and much else. Let me give you the final word then. As you look back, and I want you to take the non-partisan look at it, how do you see this election and indeed the year 2014? It's been an annus horribilis for the Congress party, but from a larger perspective, are we seeing a tectonic change, the word some are describing in Indian politics as a result of this year, where you've really, where the BJP has emerged as India's #1 national party?
First, I contest that it's risen as a national party. You showed a map the other day.
Yes, I showed a map.
Which showed that they are spread over large parts of northern and western India.
Northwest, central India, let's be clear.
All right, northwest, central India. But there's more to India than the northwest and center. There is the
They've
east.
Grown in Kerala. They grew in Kerala in terms of votes. They grew in Andhra Pradesh. They've grown in Tamil Nadu in terms of votes.
I have no doubt that they have grown, but they have not grown to the point where there can be serious challengers to any of those establishments that are there in these different states. So you are premature in proclaiming them as a national party. They are India's largest regional party. My second point is that when I look back at 2014, it's clear that the Congress suffered not only a defeat, but suffered the worst defeat of all its existence of 130 years nearly, and that the defeat was of such an order that it cannot but induce a rethinking within the party. As far as I am concerned, I think we drifted away from our anchoring in 1991, and that it has played out inevitably to this point where philosophies that do not pertain to the Congress tradition have wrecked us, both in terms of the policies we wish to follow,
so you're putting all the blame for the Congress's troubles at the doors of Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh. It's almost as if no one else, Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Congress organization will take no responsibility.
I took no name.
Manishankar, you said 1991.
I took no name.
You said liberalization.
Yeah, I was talking about policies.
Yeah, so the organization, the leadership takes no responsibility.
No, I also said, please understand. I said that if you drift from the anchoring, then it affects the organization.
Are you going to hold the leadership responsible or not? Should Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi as leaders take prime responsibility?
I don't see why at the end of 2014 I should revisit an argument that you've been flogging through the whole of 2014 with a strong commercial interest in it.
Because my book is about it.
Yeah, that's all. That's why you go on and on about it. No, but you are going to give me the opportunity of explaining how 2014 is not only a year of utter defeat for the Congress party, but also a launching pad for a rejuvenation. If we can, you've heard me as a congressman on your program criticizing very severely what the Congress party stands for today or has stood for the last 22 years, and also saying that this has badly affected our organization and our election machinery capacities. And therefore, we are
I hope more congressmen will be as candidates. I hope more congressmen will be as candidates as you, because I find all of them are here only to protect the Gandhis when it comes to an electoral defeat. But either way, at the end of the day, a more complex verdict has been thrown out. But as we take a break, it's clear that now Mufti Mohammad Saeed and the BJP in pole position to form governments in J&K and in Jharkhand. The two Js have been decided this morning, and blissfully some would say 2014 is finally coming to a long and finally coming to an end for us, because it's been a long year, for the Congress because it's been a horrible year.